Hello and welcome to Maddie Talks, where we talk about all things mental health and self-improvement. If you're new, hi, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Today I want to talk about a few myths that I hear about mental health. There's so much information out there, and unfortunately some of it is a little bit misleading. So just wanted to debunk a few myths, and yeah, we're going to do that by playing a game of true or false. Before we do get started though, I just want to put out a disclaimer. I am not a licensed therapist, psychologist, or anything like that. I've just done loads of research and I have my own personal experiences. So everything that I say today, I have fact checked it, but also do your own research. Without further ado, let's get started. So this is true. Mental health and mental illness are not the same thing. Mental health is like physical health. Everybody has it, whether it's good or bad, we all have it. Mental illness, on the other hand, is a combination of symptoms that constitute a problem or an issue with your mental health. This is false. It's not rare. It's not rare at all. And it kind of makes sense that it isn't rare because physical health issues are not rare, so why would mental health issues be rare? Do you know what I mean? And there's so many stats out there that support this. So 1 in 4 people in the UK will experience a mental health issue in a year. Something like 1 in 5 people experience suicidal thoughts. 1 in 16 people think about or have self-harmed. There's so many stats that just prove it's not rare. I think because people don't want to talk about it and people don't talk about their personal experiences so much, it can seem really rare, but it's not. So this is false-ish, and I'll tell you why I say that. So there are some studies which show a correlation between some mental health issues and violence, but they're just correlational, and there's other things that come into it. So things like substance misuse and their mental health not being taken care of properly. And even if you look at the numbers compared to the normal population, it is not that much difference. So, and I blame movies for this because they make certain mental health issues, especially like schizophrenia and stuff like that, they make it seem like it's this thing that creates monsters that can't control themselves, and that's just not the case. And to be honest, people that suffer from psychosis and things like that are more likely to be harmful to themselves than they are to be harmful to other people, and they're more likely to be the victims of violent behavior. This is false. This is so false. You can have a mental health issue and still be a success in life. You can have a mental health issue and still work your way up the corporate ladder. This was kind of my first worry when I was diagnosed, honestly, because I just thought, oh gosh, I have all these aspirations. How the hell am I going to do that if my brain's just refusing to work properly? So I did a little bit of research and I've written it down because I knew I'd forget. Just a list of people who suffer from mental health issues that are a success. So apparently ADHD sufferers, Simone Biles, Usain Bolt, Bill Gates, Richard Branson, super successful. Depression, J.K. Rowling, and she wrote all those Harry Potter books. Bipolar sufferers, DMX, Winston Churchill, Jimi Hendrix. The list goes on and on and on. And there's so many studies that have been done, and that you can find stats all over the internet. Something like 49% of CEOs also suffer from a mental health issue of some description. So it doesn't mean you're not going to be a success. It doesn't mean you can't achieve what you want to achieve. It's just one of those things that some of us have, some of us don't have. Again, this is false. So like physical health, mental health affects everybody. It's not a white people thing. I think because mental health is invisible, it's easier to ignore. So for a long time, it's kind of been viewed as a luxury. and like, mental health, self-care, all that kind of thing. It's been viewed as a luxury that is accessible really only to white people. And that's not the case. If you look at the studies, Black people, Asian people suffer from mental health issues just as much as white people, if not more so. For example, Black men are 4 times more likely to be sectioned under the Mental Health Act. Now, there is an element of racism in that, but it just goes to show that Black people suffer as well, Asian people suffer, white people suffer. It's not a white people thing, it's just a human thing. So this is true. Mental health is not about willpower. It's not about mental strength or anything like that. There's a neurological aspect to it. So that's why when you look at the brain of a neurotypical or normal person and compare it to someone who's suffering from a mental health issue, that you can tell the difference between the two, because there is an element of brain function that isn't functioning perhaps how it should. So you can't willpower your way through that any more than you can willpower your way through heart disease. And this myth really gets to me because this is the reason there's so much shame attached to mental health, because it's easy for people to say, well, just get up and clean, get up and shower, get up and do this. And it's like, I can't. And it's really difficult to explain why you can't. And you end up kind of questioning yourself, like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get up? But it's not a lack of willpower. It's not a lack of mental strength. There's a neurological aspect to it. Now, that's not to say that you don't need to be committed to improving your mental health and that there's nothing that you can do about it, because there is. You can make lifestyle changes and stuff, but it takes a lot more than just willpower. Hence, there's medication and therapy and all that kind of thing. So this is false. There is a lot that you can do. Now, I will say a good friend is not a replacement for a therapist. They're not a replacement for proper medical advice and treatment. So as a friend, you should always encourage your friends that are suffering to go and seek the proper care. Now, as a friend, there is still things that you can do. So just being there for depression, I know for me, what my friends did that really helped me is they kept inviting me to things. I'd say no a lot because I just wanted to be in bed, but they kept inviting me. And when I was up to it, I'd go, and it did make me feel better. Other things that really helped for me personally, acts of service as a love language really comes into this. So when you're depressed, doing things takes too much energy and you just can't sometimes. So a friend of mine came and cleaned my room once, and I kid you not, it meant the absolute world to me, and it made me feel so much better. So there are things that you can do, and talk to them, ask them what they want help with, ask them what they need. And 9 times out of 10 they'll tell you. But for the most part, just continue being a good friend and be patient with them. So this is false-ish. The reason I say that is because for some mental health issues, they don't go away, like schizophrenia, for example. But for things like anxiety and depression and the vast majority of other mental health issues, they can be treated to a point where the symptoms that you experience are lessened by a really, really significant amount. And for other people, they actually can be cured completely. So no, having a mental health issue is not necessarily a life sentence. Because there's an element of genetics to mental health issues and things like traumatic life experiences can come about, we can't say that mental health issues are completely preventable. But with, proper care and taking care of your mental health, doing things like sleeping well, eating a healthy diet, exercising, that kind of thing. So again, this is false. People who are suicidal are not looking for attention. It's not a cry for help. When you become suicidal, you're in such a dark place and you see no point of being around anymore. You want to escape. Like, your circumstances are so bad that you just want to be free from your current existence. And when you get to that point, you're not thinking about other people. You're not thinking about getting people's attention or anything like that. So that was 10 misconceptions about mental health. Obviously, there's so many more out there. So if you think I missed any, leave them in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on, share the video with your friends and whoever else. I would really, really appreciate it. I'm Maddie. This has been Maddie Talks, and I will see you next time.